James, fantastic to be sitting down with you and chatting about pipeline management. And I think you're one of those people who've really made a difference to Marshall White across the board with that whole methodology around future thinking your business. So what would be great to do is chat with you about what's the rationale behind pipeline, where did it come from, and then how do you utilise it today to help you drive your business forward?
Well, thank you, Michael. Appreciate the comment there. It is something that I'm very proud of in terms of systems within my business that sort of work well for a lot of guys in the company. Basically, I remember coming up with a frustration about 16, 17 years ago with you, and I had very few listings coming up for spring, and I remember sort of having that frustration, sharing it with you, and you said, well, what's your pipeline looking like? And I thought, pipeline? What's pipeline? And we got into a conversation around, okay, well, what does it look like if I actually recorded what listings I'm chasing and actually went one step further, instead of just having the addresses, actually have the projected commission, the projected sale price, and that would actually give me a really good sort of view of what my business could look like.
Absolutely.
Then, so
it seems obvious now, doesn't it?
It was
really?
so obvious.
Yeah.
I knew pipeline, but then I sort of connected with the idea of actually it would be good to actually have a visual of what actually I was chasing and what that would mean if my strike rate was 70% or whatever it is, 80%. You can actually then start to see your business in the future.
Great.
So at first, it was just basically a list, and then it became something a bit more visual with a graph with the bar chart. So you could actually see your A pipeline, your B pipeline, your C pipeline, and it was a really good, quick way of measuring whether I was on track or not. Yeah,
and look, I think ineffective agents get concerned when they don't have listings. Great agents get concerned when they don't have a strong pipeline coming in a month or two or three, which is great. So let's fast track to today and talk about how you're utilising pipeline now.
Pipeline now, it's still something that I look at every day. I have my diary prepared for me each week. Annette would update that on a Friday, and I'd give her. So my pipeline is updated daily. So I'm moving A's to B's, or pipeline A is listed, so it goes into the listed column, or B's to C's, and vice versa. It's constantly changing.
Yeah. So the ultimate goal would be a C to a B to an A, and A to a listing.
Absolutely.
That's
if it was that simple,
flow.
it would be brilliant. But it never is. But it's that's the goal. And so you've actually got to manage it thoroughly each week, and I give that to our EA each week, and it's updated.
So what we're actually looking at here, just in case you're wondering, this is your, what you've listed.
That's currently listing with Madeline on the right-hand side and myself on the left.
Great.
It's also measuring what we've actually brought in. So if we were to sell everything, we're going to achieve this amount of KPIs based on our budget for that particular month. So it's
on track, off track.
On track, off track, exactly.
Great. Excellent.
So it's just so good for that.
Yeah, and just to clarify, if we look at pipeline then, pipeline A for you is 30, 45 days?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So the most important for now business, for people you've got to be phoning up almost daily or certainly weekly, would be my pipeline A, and that's somebody who's thinking about going into the market within sort of a 30, 40, maybe even 50 to 60 days.
Yeah.
They're pipeline A. So you're living with those people. So I'd be constantly looking at it. Am I on track? Tick, yes. What do I need to do? Yeah, I'd better give them a call today.
So James, this is giving them an update on the market conditions, a new property launch to the market, what were first week opens like, a great sale.
Yeah.
We've got some buyers who are left over from this campaign.
Yeah.
They almost fit your property.
Could be that. Could be how are you progressing with some improvements to the property.
Great.
Has our stylist been around, completed the recommendations? Do you want me to help you with that? Do you want me to chase somebody up for you? Could be a number of things.
Yeah, great. So it's really providing the service before they need your service, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a constant thing. So I'm always looking at my A's and B's, and weekly I have a look at the C's as well. So B's tend to be clients thinking of going to market within a sort of a 70, 80, 90 day period of time.
So sort of a 3 plus 3-ish months mark.
Yes, and there's no exacting measurement for this. It's just where I think they sit. In a B would be sort of a 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah, and this is where a B could become an A based on a conversation you have.
Absolutely.
An A could become a B based on a conversation you have.
I'd upgrade them to an A if I felt, look, it's moving along well, they're going to sort of meet with me in the next month, then it might start to become an A. Yeah, and then the same with the C's. So C's tend to be clients who are thinking about going to market, maybe within a sort of a 6 to 12 month period. So it's very sort of low level, but they just want to stay aware of what's selling in the area, what's going on, what do I need to do to the property. So it's a fairly
so communication with them is about giving them confidence in the market, knowing what's happening, where are things going. Kind of frequency with them?
Again, it depends on the client. Some clients actually would like a weekly phone call. Some clients love it. Some may not want to hear from you maybe once a month or bi-monthly. It can very much depend on what the client, their style is.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so but as a general rule, a lot of frequency with pipeline A.
Yes.
Slightly less with B.
Yes.
And then slightly less with C.
Yes.
But really tuning into the client.
Really thinking about the client. What do they want? And how are you actually really going to add value? So every time you phone, you really need to be adding value, not just, hey, how are you going with making a decision? It's actually, how can I progress this? What can I say and do to progress this relationship towards the goal, which is helping them with their property transaction.
Yep, great. So you're putting notes on down on here as you go through.
Absolutely.
And then once a week that goes through to your EA.
Yes. So I have an update sheet which is for box and dice update notes. So when I speak, so this is purely from my pipeline. So anyone I've spoken to is on that pipeline. I'd have a conversation because I'm on the run. I'm not typing it into box and dice directly, but that gets entered in at the end of the week.
Yeah, fantastic. And then you get a fresh set back on Monday morning, ready to actually go.
Well, Friday night.
Friday night. Okay.
Yeah. And then Saturday morning, I'm in the office 8:30 to prepare my diary for the next week.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's great.
Come Monday morning, I'm absolutely ready to rock and roll. My diary is fully prepared. I know who I've got to speak to. I know how many face-to-faces I've got planned and booked for the week.
And who you also might need to elevate and put more on the agenda or more on the priority because you haven't contacted them for a couple of weeks or something along those lines.
Exactly. And my pipeline just gives me that, if I've got 12 plus pipeline A, I know I'm on track.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're not waiting until you've got low listings. You're saying,
no.
Hang on, I've only got 8 in the pipeline.
Yes. Let's move some Bs to As. Is that possible?
Yeah. Or is there anyone out there I can add to the campaign?
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
So it's a really, really good way of just measuring your business. And look, in spring, I know, or in February, say for example, right now in November, I know that potentially if I get an 80% strike rate, I'm going to have a very good first quarter to 2018.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. Now, what about changeovers? The buyer-seller, where does that fit in?
Yeah, changeovers fits in very much with pipeline. So I'm running about 20 buyer-sellers right now. So they're people, as you know, who they've got a property to sell in an area that I'm interested in. But they want to buy first. So I'm constantly looking at that. Again, tends to be Monday, Tuesday of every week. I'm in touch with those buyers just to see how they went from last week. Is there anything they're particularly interested in? Are they bidding this weekend? Is there anything I can do to add value?
They're looking for a second opinion if it's with another agency.
Can I go through it? Absolutely. Can I bid for
feedback?
You?
Yeah, great. Excellent.
Offering all those services. And I'm writing a note down about the conversation, and then that gets into box and dice. So you've got a really good trail of conversations.
Yeah, fantastic.
with that client.
Yeah, yeah, great. So well done on this, and I love the structure you've got here that simplifies things. And I know you've heard me say you've either got to remember to do it or have a system to remind you to do it. And so you've got a beautiful system here that reminds you to do what you need to do, that gives you more focus and more freedom in your mind to focus on the main aim of the game.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be complex. I get mine all bound up. It doesn't have to be. It's just as long as you do have your pipeline. It doesn't have to be, as long as it's big enough to fulfill your goals and your projections.
Yeah, fantastic, James. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you.